Yo, what is good, family? Hope you all are having an amazing day. Today, we're gonna talk about the power of boredom, and it's an interesting topic because in real life conversations, I talk about this, and people are like, "Charlie, what do you mean about the power of boredom?" I thought that boredom is bad, is wrong, and any type of situation that you think is good or bad is because you're giving that meaning. All right, if you put the tag on something, it will be like that for you. So you have to understand how to use boredom in your benefit, which a lot of people will be able to do it right after finishing this video. So I'm gonna talk about personal experience. This is around 2018 when I started in entrepreneurship. And basically, I was on a point in my career that I was mixing the trading with my profession, with my first business, which was having a home studio and bringing all the guys from my neighborhood and then from Madrid to record back in my mom's house, right? Back in the day, it was funny. And back in the day, I was constantly listening to music, not only the music I was recording, but also the music that I was using as quote unquote inspiration to then have my recordings, my edits, and everything. So in that time, I was 20 hours a day, literally 16 hours a day, constantly listening to music. And it was not classical music, it was rap music, trap music. It was not something productive, obviously. So in that moment, I understood that that was literally subtracting energy and focus from the things that I wanted to do every single day. Obviously, when I started trading, it was becoming less and less the time that I was investing into the music. But although it was less, it got to a point that I understood it was not good. And also, talking with mentors and learning from people that had the results that I wanted, they said and they spoke about this thing, which was reducing the time that you are spending on things that are not being productive for you, right? So I remember that my reaction to it was super easy and super simple. I said, all right, I'm gonna delete all the music that I have from my phone. And literally, I back in the day, I had one of those Samsungs that had the memory cards that you could quit and put in again. So I removed all the music that I had on the memory card, and I put only podcast, or not podcast because back in the day it was not that trend, but I had like audiobooks and audios from mentors and people that I was learning from. And all the time that I was spending into listening to music, I started to invest instead of spend that energy and that time into listening to productive things. So this is the first thing to change those type of unproductive habits. The first thing we have to do is replace that negative thing, that thing that is not productive, that is not creating a positive ROI in your life, for some other habit that is productive. And although it's not the perfect scenario, because obviously listening to, I don't know, audiobooks for 4 6 hours a day is not the most productive thing in the world. At least it's better than spending 4 hours or 6 hours listening to trap music, obviously. So at least it's some sort of step forward. So I became more productive. I started to feel better. I was not on that situation anymore of needing to listen to some song in order to feel good and have a good vibe to get to work. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that situation of, all right, I'm gonna play this song because I'm gonna increase my vibe and then get in a better mood for my trading or for my business meeting or for my job, whatever. So it's not that really good that you are dependent of a music or a song to increase your frequency, all right? It's better that you learn to do it yourself. And one of those first steps is actually to replace what you have to do. Replace those negative unproductive habits. So understanding this, now we get to the next level, which is instead of replacing, now you're going to remove. What I'm explaining right now with music is something that you can apply in any other area of your life. So back in the day, 2018, I replaced. Now, personal experience again, back in around a few months ago, I did a very good experiment. I was not in that situation anymore of needing a song or some type of music to approach the day with vigor. I learned obviously to do this myself. But I did an experiment. What happens if I don't listen to music, I don't listen to audiobooks, I don't listen to any type of podcast, any type of consumption of any type of content through audios, nor reading anything, nor nothing, literally no type of content for 4 days. I was literally not listening to anything and consuming anything. I was just working on my business, working on my trading, working on my relationships, doing my fitness, my diet, everything on point. And it was very interesting because the first day was super boring. I mean, I got to that point that literally I will be like replaying the same trading session from the morning. Literally, it was crazy. The point of boredom that the brain can get when you don't feed that boredom, right? Because if right now you're bored, you will go and play video games. You will go and eat some fast food, or you will go and take a drink with your friends, or you will go and watch some fucking porn. I mean, you will find those cheap dopamine hits that are going to kill that boredom, which is just a temporary solution, but at the end of the day, it's fucking you up in the long term. So you have to learn how to turn that boredom in something productive. How to do this? You just remove all of those things. You remove all of those things that are not producing a positive ROI in your life. And then the brain will start looking for some other things, other stuff to do, so he can fill that boredom. All right. And that's what happened to me. I started to think about stuff that didn't really matter and was not crucial for the first day. But then I remembered the second day. I was doing my my London session. I went to the gym without music. Even the music from the gym, I was putting on the AirPods with the isolated mode, and I will put some binaural waves to don't even listen to the music from the gym. It got to a crazy point. And it got to the point to when I was going to MMA training, no music on the car. I always put music on the car. And I was literally starting to think about ways to improve my business, about things for improving the way I approached some meetings or some important business decisions that I will take in the next few days or the next few weeks. So it got to the point that I understood. If you kill all the cheap dopamine hits that your brain is looking for when it is bored, your brain eventually will create ways to fill up that boredom, but on ways that are productive. When I understood that, I said, all right, so if early on I was spending X amount of hours every single day listening to music, watching Instagram stories, watching literally cheap personal development on YouTube, all of those things that at the end of the day are not productive at all. And now you can turn your brain into a fabric of work in the back end to constantly improve in the business when you are not sitting on working on the business, if that makes sense. It's like working on the back end. When I understood that, I understood, first of all, the power that you have when you kill all the cheap dopamine that you get, and also all the time that we spend on dumb shit. I bet I spoke about this in other Charly talks, but if you activate the screen time in your phone and you literally track and journal all the things that you do during your day that are not productive, you will literally freak out and say, how can I be missing all this time that is not getting me back? Is insane. So I will give you the challenge. All right. This challenge is about not only the music, which you can do. All right. You can do the 4 days without music and not any type of content. It's going to be insane and you will realize about the changes. But after those 4 days, I will put you the challenge of saying, perfect. Let's see what other flaws I have in my life. Perhaps it's fast food. Perhaps it's drinking every single day. Perhaps it's constantly playing video games. Cut out that shit. And then start to replace those things for some things that are productive. Some things that are literally getting you closer to the things that you want. So guys, with this being said, see you all in the next Charly Talks. Let's get it.